All right, my people, I don't carry and come again. Yeah, welcome to my page, Timo Starboy, Reality Talk TV. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you at your location time. So, this is another woto woto for this APC failure to do the needful on our oil, our fuel. You don't hike, they don't jack them up. Oh, you know, people are crying now. They are just crying. Say the fuel don't go up to 65, then they sell am some place 700, 700, some 650. I don't know where is it going. Is it going? I don't know. We can hire these people o. If they don't know how to manage the country, let them pack off. We have been saying this all along. We've been telling them they are incompetent. They are incompetent people. They are not competent. So they don't know how to do the managing of the country. They cannot govern the country. So they are just doing all this their shakara. This their stubbornness. We tell them they are not fit in to sit on that post. Let the people who want to get the job done come over. Why are they making a stubborn head? See the price of the oil now. The gasoline has jack up the price. Everybody is crying now. Everybody is crying. Some people, they are even parking their car at their garage. They don't take it to their working place again. Even the transportation, the price has jack up again, because when the fuel, they are following the fuel price. NNPC, when they are inflating their own price, other people will do the same thing. And we are the producer of the gas. We are the producer of the gas. We are the producer of the gasoline, the oil. So why are we going to be, we that we are producing will be suffering, and other nations, they will be enjoying? For example, this country now, this Japan, they are enjoying their oil because they are buying. They don't have the oil. They don't have the mineral resources, and they are enjoying everything. Everything is accordingly. So why is it that we are producing oil, maybe 7 in a row all over the world, and we have the oil, we are the one that suffering it. We are the one that suffering our thing that God give to us. I don't get this one. No, this one is just overpower me. I don't know which kind of people are these people that they don't use their head. They don't use their logic. They don't have their common sense. Must we be suffer for all this our things that we have, the thing that we have in our hand? Must we suffer for it? Which kind of wicked people is this? And we'll be telling you people it's time for youth to take over, because youth have brain. They are intellectual people. You don't want to pave the way for them. And you old people, your brain is rotten. You don't know anything. Only to loot the money, steal the everything, make the whole thing dry. Make the whole thing dry. And to borrow. The money you are borrowing, we don't know where it is. Where are you putting it? Inside your pocket, inside your mouth. What kind of a nonsense people is this? What kind of a nonsense people? People are hungry now. They are so hungry. They are so mad at you people that it's time for we to rebel against you. And this is our time. We will rise against you people. This time around, we will not take it easy. We will not take it easy. It's our life on the line. It's between life and death. And we will not take it easy. We will not be silent. We cannot silent for this. Because the money you have been borrowing, 500 billions or trillions that you borrow, where is it? Everything trillion, billion, billion, Trillion. You borrow trillion, it will just sink. It will sink somewhere. We will not know the result where you use the money for. You will not know it. You know, do the accountability for this thing, you know, to do the account for what you spend the money on. You cannot do it. And they say you are genius in calculation. I mean the president, the fake president, selecting president. You don't know what you are using money for. Now you say you want to pay only $8,000, $10 for people that poor, the poorest people. The money now you don't pay. The money, where is it? Maybe you have cancelled your this thing, your program. So the money now you will sink into your pocket. It will be your own benefit, not the other again. We are saying that the money is too small, but now where is the money now? So everything has cancelled now. Only mouth, just watery mouth, your sugar coated mouth. That's only what you got. Very soon we will kick you out. Please, my viewers, let me play you this video. This is conjunction with what we are saying now here, because it's about fuel that they are raising the price. You know, our refinery is there. They don't want to repair it. They are repairing other country refineries, and they are taking our crude oil to there, you know, to refinery to refine the oil and send it back, and we still buy in a huge amount. What kind of a logic is this? What kind of a sense these people they have? And you will be saying you will be mathematic genius, you will be a professor, you will be engineering my food, professor my food, mathematician my food. What would you learn? Nothing inside your brain. Your score is empty. It's totally empty. Please let me play you this video so we will understand what is going on here. You know, when I came out, anytime I came, you know that I just, the eagle, the vulture will not land without carrying nothing. It will land for meat, either rotten or fresh. It will land. It will much land. That's why I came here with update for you to hear, because me, I'm the one that will let you know what is going on around you. You know, so your own partaking, your own side is to listen and know who to tackle. Who is your problem? Who is your enemy? Who is the devil among us? Who is to bite? Who is to cane? Who is to knock on the head, because their head is not good? So let me play you this video. So sit back and enjoy it.
In an anti-SAP protest. And now when I think of what is happening, I say it is even worse. Nobody can sugarcoat it. You can't dice it or slice it in any way. It is really very tough. But these days, I try to look at things from the position of those in power. Saying, what would you do? As you said, an activist in the civil society movement, and then it's criticism. But the doing part is a tough part. That's where the devil is. The thing right now is subsidy. It's been on for a long time.
Subsidy.
Now, I ask myself, is there subsidy
that cannot work?
And there are arguments that there isn't any subsidy. And you can advance any number of arguments in support of that. And those who will come and say, there is subsidy. People actually benefited from it, but not the masses. Or that
it is the elite.
The rich may have benefited the most, but still
elite people.
It subsidized petrol in a way that ordinary people, even barbers, even the smallest business, has to have a generation. Therefore.
Sorry, Jerry. Please, sorry.
The smallest business has to have a generation. Therefore, that helps. The transport, cost of food, and so on. But what is to be done? I think that removing subsidy, real or unreal, is a step that this country has to take. Now the question is, would that solve the problem? It won't. At least not in one fell swoop. I believe that some of the many other areas have been suggested to the government to look into, which is the under collection of resources. This time, not even just talking about taxes alone, although if you include petroleum tax, which huge amounts of it are still owed and not collected. I think it was very recently that Femi Falana did a list of areas that the government should be looking at to increase our revenue collection, which might make it unnecessary for subsidy to be removed. But my argument going further from there is that we often don't realize that we're a very large country. 200 million people, are probably more. And that even if we were to plug all these loopholes, it will still not be enough to entirely reduce, the oppression that we are experiencing to an appreciable degree. What is necessary is a great dysfunction in the petroleum sector, especially the scandal that so many years after independence, this sixth oil largest producing country in the world, we can't refine petrol in our own country. I have to import it.
Shame
and this
on
is what
them.
the whole problem is. If you import it, you're going to pay.
So
You're going to
shameful.
pay at the cost of production, refining abroad, and then transporting it here. How do we not have a refinery, not even one, working today?
You can ask
That
them.
is where we have to be looking at. And
Let's
then
ask them the
secondly,
question.
during the campaigns, literally all of the candidates were very high, poetic on transiting from a consumptive economy to a productive economy. We don't produce enough. From food to the cars to manufacturers, electronics, we don't produce. So if we import everything, how are we ever going to be able to make life better for the people when our life therefore is controlled by the price, by the cost of dollar, naira exchange, and our destiny is not in our hands? So the reset is going to be hard. The question is Tinubu the man for the job?
It's not
And
the
has
man.
what he has told us he will do, is it enough to get the job done? If we agree, how much period of grace, how much benefit of the doubt are we willing to give for a new government to have its policies kick into place?
I'm glad you touch on that in terms of the last questions you asked. Is he the man for the job? Well, he's the man currently holding the job at the moment. So we have to see how it would work. Now, in terms of the length of grace, some of his, people from his camp have said, oh, we're going to suffer for a little while, just endure for a little while, and then things will begin to get better. So let's keep hope alive. How long should we keep hope alive? Are people too hard on this government? Because we knew before this administration came into power that it was going to be a tough one for them, bearing in mind what the economic situation was. Should we be giving them a bit more time? Or perhaps if we study the policies and the way that they are being implemented, it's an indication of what is to come. Is that, how should we begin? When should we begin to speak out? And should we begin to talk? And then the other thing I'd like to ask you is that, you had contested to be the so-called federal constituency seat representative, the House. When we look at the sufferings of the people, one of the agitations is that there seems to be a disconnect between the elite and the poor. Only recently, the federal government had announced, or we had gotten the news reports that 70 billion naira was going to be allocated to the House. Or whatever they said, it's for furnishing, not necessarily as cash or giving to the new members. What's your take on this? Is it justifiable? Can you justify that? And what should they be doing instead?
Length of time as period of grace for a new government. I don't think we can say 3 months or 1 year. I think it's something that we have to keep evaluating as time goes on, especially paying close attention to each policy, because vigilance is going to be of utmost importance here. Each policy, scrutinize it. I'm happy that the report is all over the place today, that he has made a U-turn, President Tinubu has made a U-turn on the idea of giving conditional cash transfers of 8,000 naira to the most
where is the 8,000?
most affected
It's not available
families,
again.
Poorest, and they are reviewing it. So, and that's the kind of thing we want to see, that when a policy comes at a time like this, when we are fighting gargantuan problems and citizens speak out, the government is willing, is listening, and willing to review its steps. Now, so that suggests to me that whatever needs to be done, that the government will do it if it is convinced that it's the right thing to do. But is it 3 months? We don't even have ministers yet who will take charge of key departments and agencies of the government, key sectors of the government. So we cannot even begin at this point to say, oh, it's already had 2 months and that's already too long for us to see a noticeable difference in our lives. However, that said, it is the policies themselves at this point that matter most. The question is, Should subsidy have been removed, whether you consider it to be real or unreal? And if you agree it should be removed, then the next question is, what do we do to ameliorate the problem? We will wait for them now to see the new policy that we bring out on ameliorating the conditions of the poorest of the poor. Then that apart, you asked about the spending. So basically, cost of government is where the second part of your question is. There's no doubt about it. The cost of government is unsupportable. In fact, one of the problems we have in this country is that you see somebody you've known all your life, and suddenly they get into government. And when they get into government, their life has been transformed beyond that of the most fabled riches in the world, princes. It's like, so it's just a bad thing to see that in the midst of this suffering, governments can come out to budget for themselves those amounts of money. And it may well be that it's justifiable, but they have to show us. They have to show us. I don't think from where I'm sitting that it is justifiable. Take, for example, the replacing of all the vehicles, all the members of the National Assembly. The question to ask is, why do they need to be replaced? Does it mean that the outgoing, first of all, did everybody in the National Assembly lose their seat? So we're having all of the new members who require cars. And if they all require cars, what happened to the ones that were there before? They have all become unusable. So these are areas where we must ask questions, because these are government properties. All the vehicles, I imagine they are government properties. They are not personal. If they are personal, of course, they go away with them. And if they are not personal, they leave them behind when they're leaving office. So what has happened to them? Why do all of them have to be replaced? Why do all of them have to be bulletproof, as I hear? Is it because of lack of security? And if it's a lack of security, whose fault? Who provides security? So it's unnecessary to have bulletproof cars for every member of the National Assembly.
I don't think it's all of them. I think it's just for the principal officers.
The principal officers, okay. I'm glad it is so. So I'm glad. That's why I said I don't know if it's for all of them. Yes. But the key thing is, why do we have to replace all of them? That's the question. Okay. That's one thing. And then again, I will recommend those things that have been suggested by Femi Falana. I think it was well thought out. In fact, he had the privilege of meeting with the president in person. So I imagine he has also conveyed these to him. Okay. So I hope that he will look at those areas of cutting the costs of government and improving our revenue collection.
Okay, so you said probably honeymoon period, but a lot of Nigerians are going to say no. Because this was the same government when PDP in 2012 pulled out subsidy and gave us a plan. This same government kicked against it, orchestrated protests on the streets, and everybody saw what happened. And they kept on paying. You asked a question about building a refinery. The same APC you are part of promised refineries. But where are the refineries? 8 years, President Muhammadu Buhari.
Where is the refinery, for God's sake?
The tail end of his administration, they said they are revamping the ones owned by NNPC.
A country that is very large.
So is this not a reflection of a litany of failed promises in the first place? And shouldn't the party take responsibility for all of this that is happening? And concerning how long for honeymoon period we can give them.
Sorry, Jerry. I think we have a disturbance here. This commercial is too much. Sorry, guys. Just give me a minute.
But the president said he will hit the ground running. What happens to that? I think those are the questions. And I'm just amplifying the thoughts and sentiments of a lot of Nigerians out there. To you, what would you say about the fact that APC failed in 8 years to get one refinery working? Even the modular refineries that are working, they don't have crude because it's difficult to get crude from the NNPC. What would you say about all of those problems?
This is what I meant by saying earlier that these problems have been on for a long time. A long time. I don't want to dodge any question here. Yes, no refinery was got going in those 8 years. But I think what happened, I was not in government. I mean, part-time board member of a government agency. It's not necessarily in government. Meet 4 times a year. 6 times at most. But that I think at the point it changed their mind about getting any of the federally owned refineries, the 4 going. and felt, because this whole privatization thing, the neoliberalization economy, the advisors, IMF, World Bank, the emphasis was, oh, you're going to go there, you're going to be sinking money down the drain. Go face the private sector. And I think they decided to invest in Dangote's refinery, which they felt would do the job much better. So as for that, you could say he may not have turned around any of the 4 nationally owned
finally invested in refinery at the tail end of the administration.
Yeah, but in terms of time, because these are huge projects, to complete them.
We have 4
conception
refineries
to start to construct and finish them and get them going. It takes time.
And they cannot fix it.
With the Dangote refinery. So I think that's where they decided to invest, to look to as a better option.
I don't know where their brain is.
Facilities. Was it right? Was it wrong? I think time will tell. But it's not as if they did nothing. That's the point I want to make here. The Buhari government did something about that. Now, as for the honeymoon period, again, it hit the ground running. I think a lot of people will even say he did so. A lot of people will say he did exactly that. There's a whole slew of things he has done already that compared to previous government, you will say he's far exceeded them.
But there's also hardship and pain.
Yes, that is the thing.
People can't breathe.
Precisely. So if it's like the disease at this point is such that it's going to take a radical, solution. If it's cancer, you have to excise it.
Radical solution without planning?
Yeah, but so the plan is how much time to plan? First of all, there was an element.
But a lot of people say he could have planned before he announced subsidy.
No, one second. There was a fait accompli about this, don't forget. There was no provision for subsidies in the budget.
No, but there was provision till the end of that June.
Yeah.
And he announced subsidy gone May 29. We could have still waited till the termination date of that hitherto provision.
I think the best thing to do when you know this is something, it's been on. You remember, you just reminded me now when it was done by Jonathan, and then there were protests. This thing has been lingering. We need to take a stance. We need to do it decisively.
The man is an import. He doesn't have an agenda. This man, he doesn't have any agenda. He doesn't have anything to do with Nigeria, this thing. He just want to be looting money. I mean that President Bola Ahmed, just to be looting money. He doesn't have, he's incompetent. He's incompetent president. So let's talk the fact. So I will give you another video now, This one is another rising pertaining to the video of oil subsidy removal and NNPC, that they are increasing their own money too. This is a double jeopardy. Okay, let's go.
That's the cost at which it lands at the post, right? 565 before leaving the port.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so that's the point at which it lands in Nigeria or Togo. Is it Togo or Nigeria? Because some of them land in Togo and you now bring them.
Nigeria.
Okay, it lands in Nigeria at 565.
No. This one is please let me correct you. This is a real importation, right? Bathing in Nigeria, not Togo.
Okay.
Talk about Togo.
Okay, so it lands at Nigeria 565. And why I mentioned Togo is because it also lands in Togo, and you know what I'm talking about, because I know the business, I know the market. So it lands Nigeria 565. All right, that's minus clearing cost and some other costs. So start to plot the cost on top of it.
So I think
he doesn't have brain. See, cannot calculate.
No, please answer the question, sir. Answer
these people.
No, sir. Answer the question. It's a question.
I'm trying to answer you.
Hey, go ahead.
I told you what you want me to do. What you want me to do?
Yes.
Just to answer the question.
Or rather, me as alone, is a
these are the early that they are eating the money of the fuel.
Because the importers,
our fuel.
It's not a one-man affair.
They are the
when the product comes,
sucking the
stakeholders will be there, the importers, the Nigerian Ministry of Dance Regulatory.
So tell me all those costs, sir.
We have to sit down, negotiate. This is an inside this thing. I can't just come out like and start telling you 1 naira, 50 kobo, 2 naira. You understand?
Okay.
It's a long calculations, which it's not something that we can come out in the public to start discussing.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, my people. I'm going to watch this one. Even the people will be saying they're in charge of it.
He doesn't know anything.
Traffic and all.
Oh, even in Abuja.
So how confused people go come make the truth.
Let's talk about this important subject. Petrol price is now 617 naira per litre in Abuja and in other parts of the country. What is responsible for this? We've seen a number of excuses out there. Floating of the naira, foreign exchange problem, international price of crude, all kinds of excuses, market forces, and all of that. Now, are we ever going to get out of this? Are you marketers very happy that maybe you are making more money? What are the issues that we need to worry about?
Yeah, you have said it all. Number one, I think you have mentioned about 2 to 3 questions at the same time. Number one, the rise in price was caused, as usual, by market forces. Market now determine prices. And secondly, because of the dollar. And, the higher the crude oil price, basically the product locally must be higher. So by the time the crude comes down, yes, of course, the product will come down. Like you said, we marketers, are we really happy, or rather because of the margin, maybe profit, whatever you're talking about? To be frank, is just speculation, or rather people are just thinking otherwise. Marketers, if any marketer can tell you he's happy with the profit he's getting, maybe he just wants to deceive himself. And that was why at the same vein we're even calling on the authority to intervene, to talk to the petroleum tanker drivers to see reasons. Now number one, we're in the regulations and the profit is so small, but they are still charging some fees, which can make most of our marketers out of the business. So we are really worried on that aspect. But I want to tell you, the regulation is inevitable. We must face it. That's the reality. And certainly, the product would be lower maybe by next 2-3 months. It's not going to be stagnant the way people are thinking, or rather maybe tomorrow another phone price will be raised. No, it will come down because it's like we're in the equilibrium regime. So by the grace of God, we pray with the kind of encouragement that we're having from the import. Product supply, we don't have problem with it. Product is going to be available. We're just praying that crude oil will come down. But basically, we are praying for these Russians and Ukraine war to come down so that vessels can have easy route pass.
This man is a ridiculous man. What concerns you with Ukraine and this thing? You have your own oil, Are you buying oil from Ukraine or Russia? Very stupid people. They don't know how to calculate their brain. When in terms of cheating, their brain will be going flip, they'll be just spraining. See what this man is talking about, Ukraine and Russia. Does that concern you with the oil? You have your own crude oil that you are supplying the whole world. So what concerns you with Ukraine? Very stupid people.
From the Black Sea down to Africa.
All right, Alhaji Suleiman, unfortunately, we have very limited time with you this morning, but I'd like you to speak to something that our business analyst had brought forward this morning in terms of the fact that even at 617 naira, this is not reflective of what the actual cost per litre of petrol would be. So perhaps Nigerians should brace up for further increase, because if you look at our West African counterparts, they're paying a lot more if you look at it in the dollar sense. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, when you import as an importer, when you import product from abroad to Nigeria as of today, it will arrive in Nigeria at the price of 565. So when you think of it, yes, marketers are trying. But I still want to reiterate to Nigerians, we need their understanding that thinking of further rise in prices, we don't pray for that. Let us all join hands together and pray so that we have a region which product will be lower than what we are buying now. Yes, compared to the other African countries we are talking about, we're still having the cheapest product, but we don't pray the product will go much more further more than this. Inshallah, we don't pray for that. Thank you, sir.
Alhaji Suleiman, please.
Thank you.
Help us clarify something. You've said market forces, foreign exchange, and all that. Were it to happen tomorrow that the cost price, the spot price of crude goes up to maybe $100 per barrel or even more, with the crisis continuing in Russia and Ukraine, does it mean we will wake up one morning, Nigerians will have to pay like 2,000 naira per litre
Good question.
of PMS?
Huh?
Is that
The truth
This is small logic.
What we have to be frank to ourselves, certainly by the time crude oil goes up, certainly local price will go up. But we pray, like now, government has...
No, please, leave God out of it. Leave God out of it. Leave God out of it. Pray about prayer. What's practical possibilities? Because we blame God for everything here. And we resort to prayer.
No, we're not talking about God. I'm saying that government have started talking about palliative. You understand that we
God.
pray
Everything
that
is God.
those that can handle...
Don't pray for anything. We are the people. You are the people that you are doing the evil.
You know, people that can... That palliative, that money can be...
Don't blame God.
To the Nigerian people.
You pray to God.
As a person, I don't support that 8,000 naira given to people because, like I said yesterday, if you cannot just sit down, you go and catch a fish, fry it and give it people. You teach somebody how to go and catch that fish to come and distance. Okay, put the money on social services, something that yes, poor men can benefit, not of sit down him every month be giving him 8,000 naira. That is not encouraging. But I want to tell you, if the government can use that money optimally, inshallah, people will not feel the impact of that price increase. But we, like I've told you, we're always hoping that this rise in crude oil will not continue.
This man
but I doubt my case will continue the way you are talking about that it will reach to $200. That can never be, or rather 2,000 naira per product, per litre. No. I don't think we can reach that stage.
Okay.
It's time to start praying.
You see, this man is out of the point, because the way he's answered the question is inshallah. When they are doing bad things, they will remember God. When they are doing good, they will not remember say God did or this and that. Only bad thing they will be calling God. I don't know what God should be intervening in this. And moreover, you are saying that Ukraine and Russia is the cause of the our own hiking petroleum. Does it conduct together? Does it have any connection? Does it have any connection? This man doesn't have any idea. He's just talking blah 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 blah. So, guys, just that's what we are saying. Wake up and know your enemy, because these people, they will chop you to the bone. They will make you dry, you know. All these people, they are the one that they are doing all these bad things, you know, all this atrocity. Because they are the one eating fat in this oil that is belong to me and you. How could a production of a country, the country that is producing oil, you know, is producing oil, will be suffering from that oil? You are the producer and will be suffering. And other people that you are producing to, they will not, they are enjoying the oil, you know. So does it make any sense? Please just put your comment below, you know. So put your comment. We need it. We need your own thought about this, because it is beyond our, you know, our doubt. These people, we must drive them away, because if we don't stand up and fight this corruption, it will go on and on, and will not stop until we rise up. So, and it's time to rise with these people, these bad people, this bad governance, this bad leadership. So that is what we are saying. That is what we are, you know, just, you know, shouting. So put your comment below. Timo Starboy, Reality Talk TV. So we end the program now. So till tomorrow, so we will bring you another new update in Jesus' name. So have your weekend in good time and enjoy your day. Bye. Love you guys. Share our program. Share. And don't forget, leave your comment. It's very important. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye.